For the past 17 years, Dani Waxman's worked with leading Israeli high-tech companies as a senior member of their product team's defining strategy. In 2017, he founded RecallCue, a digital memory aid aimed at helping our loved ones with mild cognitive impairment. Hey, Dani, what is RecallCue? What service does it provide? And how is it different from other dementia day clocks like you might find on Amazon?
Sure. So a dementia day clock, as you mentioned, is a very popular tool and device that's used by thousands, tens of thousands of people to help their loved ones in overcome or assist them with time disorientation. And that is at various stages of dementia, a loved one might lose the ability to understand what day of the week it is, what time of the day it is. They'll be getting up out of bed, ready to go out in the middle of the night, and it becomes very confusing. And the day clock is a proven tool that helps reorient a loved one as to the time of day. It's in its most basic setup. It's a clock like any other clock, except that it has in very clear, large print writing generally the time, not only the time, but the day of the week, the date, and the time of day. So it'll say evening, night, etc. So that's in general what a day clock is. You can pick these up on Amazon, and as I said, they've been proven to help. There are quite a number of articles and studies that have been done on their effectiveness.
Hey, Dani, when and how did you develop RecallCue, and what makes it better than any other dementia day clock out there on the market?
Now, when I had the need for a day clock like this, when my wife and myself began caring for our mother-in-law who was living with dementia, as someone coming from a tech background, I immediately questioned, well, here's a screen that we're investing in and putting in a house. Maybe there's more that we can do with that. And I went ahead and developed an app for Android at the time it was, and now it's available on iOS as well, that mimics the functionality of the day clock, but extends it and allowed my wife, myself, my sister-in-law, I'm based in Israel, as was my mother-in-law, and I have a sister-in-law who lives in New York. So we had a global caring family, and we needed to be able to communicate. And we, in addition to the day clock aspect, RecallCue allows you to send messages, share photos, set reminders and alarms. Later, I further developed it for music and video calling so that it became this screen that really is the hub of communication and caring between our family and my mother-in-law is, again, how it started out.
Is RecallCue geared specifically to any particular level of dementia?
Yeah, so when I first started using it myself and developing it, my expectation was that it would be really for early stages of dementia. If we talk about 7 stages, maybe the first couple of stages. But what I found was that as our own family need extended and my mother-in-law's condition changed, the app developed to take into account additional features that would benefit along the way. So if the time orientation was addressing earlier levels of dementia, the two-way video calling and the ability to share music or send photos that the grandchildren and children send photos to really have my mother-in-law participate in their daily activities, the usage extended beyond what I originally intended or thought viable. And now it's really become a multi-stage tool for caring for loved ones with dementia.
What are the differences between this and anything else you've ever developed?
Yeah, so it was fascinating. I come from a product management background, and always my experience was understand the needs of the user, and develop the product to address their needs. What's the pain point? And then how are they using it? Watch how they're using it. And in RecallCue, I did take a lot of those principles and apply them, but the user population was completely different. And whereas in the past, I've developed products where you want to engage the user and have them using it as much as possible, here it was really a hands-off experience. How do I create value in the product, but not require any interaction on the primary user of the product? There is, just to explain a bit, the application, or the solution rather, is really two applications. There's the day clock application that sits in the home of the loved one and is meant to be always on the tablet. And then there's an accompanying program application called Connect, which is used by the family members. So there is interaction, there is constant usage on that, but on the day clock itself, the real challenge was, how do I create an effective application that the user has no interaction with? And that was a real challenge.
What have you heard from caregivers? What have you heard from end users? What have you heard from your family members who have now used RecallCue?
Yeah, so as I said, I really developed this for our own family at first. I didn't have intention of going out and creating a public application. Once I saw the use that it was getting within my own family, it really encouraged me. And I made it available for the general public, and pretty quickly started getting really positive feedback on it. And it was a hobby to begin with, really, or I shouldn't say hobby, but an internal project for my family. So I wasn't investing as much time into it as I should have been, realizing the benefit that I was providing. But as the positive feedback came in and the thanks that I was getting from people for the application, and the stories of how it was really helping, in terms of the time orientation, but I think mostly for me in terms of providing the service and allowing families all over the world to care for someone, and for grandkids to get involved and be able to send photos to grandma and grandpa. That was a real boost for me and really encouraged me and pushed me to develop it further and to invest a lot more time into it and to turn it into what it is today. Today there's thousands of people using it. There's the free version that people are using and really enjoy. There's the paid version, which adds certain features on top of the free version, and just seeing that people are getting value out of it and that it's benefiting them and helping them care. It's an amazing feeling.
We've always found that the best solutions for family caregivers are one that come out of a personal need, and you just you confirmed that concept of ours. So if you needed it and you found it, you had the skill set to develop it, and all of a sudden people are going, oh, I want that too. I want that too. How do caregivers get RecallCue?
It's available on the app stores. It's on Google and on iOS, and you don't need to have the day clock be running on an iPad, and you can still use the Connect app on your Android phone. You can mix and match, and actually as of this past Thursday, the day clock itself is also available on the Amazon App Store.
And you have a website we can go visit?
Yeah, it's www.recallcue.com, and the links to the apps are there as well as an explanation of how it works, the services that it provides as well.